Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can get a near unlimited amount of treasure maps in Red Dead Online. So aside from hunting and fishing, treasure maps are by far your best way to get money and the easiest way to get gold bars. But they're pretty difficult to come by, especially if you're just leveling up. You don't get your first until level 10, and then you don't get one until every 5 levels after that. So 15, 20, 25, 30, so on and so on. And it gets progressively harder to rank up, so it's not like you're going to be getting those treasure maps, every hour you play. But there is a much easier way to ultimately get these treasure maps. And the easiest way that I have found is by gang hideouts. Now, a couple of things that I have found out. These gang hideouts are not random. The gang hideouts have specific spawn locations. And what I'm going to do right now is actually show you guys a map of some of the most popular spawn locations of where these gang hideouts will take place. If we start in New Austin, you've got Gaptooth Ridge, Fort Mercer, Twin Rocks. Moving up to West Elizabeth, Bear Claw, Quakers Cove, Hanging Dog Ranch, Cumberland Falls, which I think might actually be in New Hanover. That is my favorite location, by the way, Cumberland Falls. You've got 6 Point Cabin, Makeshift Camp, another makeshift camp in Lackey, and then Shady Bell. So there's probably way more that actually spawn, but those are just some of the guaranteed locations in which you will find a place like this. So what are these gang hideouts typically like? Well, it's anywhere from 20 to 25 NPCs that you need to take out, where one of them is the leader and the rest are just ambient gang members. And they've usually got tents and little fireplaces and campsites set up. And there's typically some goods that you can gather, like provisions and ammo and stuff like that. And what you want to do is basically clear everyone out. Now, clearing all these people out will get you XP. You're obviously going to be able to get the loot at the campsites themselves, so that is super easy to acquire. And there's going to be a ton of XP bonuses as well for clearing out the entire hideout, which should be very easy to do. However, there is a chance at each one of these hideouts that you will find a treasure map. Now, in order to find the treasure map, you need to loot all the different bodies that you find, because it's not just going to be in a lockbox or anything like that. It's going to be on a random body. So it's not something that you can predict. Now, apparently this is supposed to be a very small chance, but I'm going to be showing you guys 3 examples in about a 2-hour span where I was able to find a treasure map at Cumberland Falls. That's the location that I'm using in this video. It's super convenient, right next to Valentine's. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be really close to that. And it's super easy to clear out. There's really tall cliffs that you can stand on and shoot down on the enemies. And if you find a treasure map from looting them, it's very simple. It's just like the one you got in the tutorial. It's just like the one you got at level 10. Basically, what it just tells you to do is go to a location and you'll be able to find the treasure at a specific spot. So I've talked about these tips in previous videos, but I would definitely recommend for finding treasure that you turn on controller vibration, because when you get close to the treasure, your controller will start vibrating, and the closer you get, the more the vibrations will happen, the higher their frequency. So it's super easy to tell where they are, because Rockstar does a pretty good job of hiding these chests, to be very honest with you. Like, they put them under rocks or on the edges of cliffs. So sometimes they are pretty difficult to find. So having that controller vibration on is incredibly worth it. Now, I don't know what is the maximum or minimum amount for these treasure hunts. I've gotten 0.6 gold bars. I've gotten 0.8 gold bars. I've gotten $100. I've gotten $150. I've gotten miracle tonics. I've gotten snake oil. All I know is that you're guaranteed gold bars and you're guaranteed a really good amount of money. And that's pretty much it. It's that simple. Now, how is this nearly unlimited? Well, because these gang attacks or gang hideouts happen at these fixed locations, that means that if you jump to a new lobby and a new session, there's a good chance that there could be one right there. And that's what I did for the span of 2 hours. And basically, I was just able to find treasure maps over and over and over again. Now, I don't know if I was just having really good luck at Cumberland Falls, but I was getting treasure maps left and right. Like, I couldn't believe my luck at how many treasure maps I was actually gathering here. Now, one thing you should be careful about, and this especially at Cumberland Falls, is when you're shooting enemies, you want to make sure that you're in a position to loot their bodies afterwards. So, for example, at this location in Cumberland Falls, if you shot the enemies while they were in the water, their bodies would be carried down the waterfall and you would lose the ability to actually loot them. So that's something you need to keep in mind as well, that you don't want to lose track of the bodies because it is random at what enemy the map will actually spawn in. It's not just at the leader. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is you want to avoid doing this while other players are also doing this. And this might be especially troublesome after this video and after word gets out that, this is a very lucrative way to get treasure maps, because I'm sure there will be people fighting over these locations. But the loot that drops from random NPCs is only available to one person. So, for example, if you've got 2 or 3 posses looting bodies, you're not going to be able to loot the same bodies that they do. And they might end up with a treasure map and you might miss out on it. So that's also something to keep in mind as well, that you might want to do this away from other people. So maybe you might say to yourself, Cumberland Falls is not the best location because it's super close to other people. You might want to go up to Coulter, or you might want to go up to Willard's Rest, or maybe Solomon's Folly. Places like that. You might not necessarily want to do it in one of the more heavily occupied cities, or at least close to one of the more heavily occupied cities. So just another thing to keep in mind right there is that this is something that other players will want to jump in on, and you need to be careful about getting ambushed in something like this too. Now, at first I thought events like this only happened at night because, at least so far, all of my experiences have been during the early hours of the morning, at sunset, or at night. But it's just random when they spawn in. I figured at night it would make more sense because that's maybe when the gangs would actually come out. But it turns out that that actually isn't the case. They happen at any and all times. So you don't have to worry about that. I do say it is much easier to do this during the day because you're able to see the bodies and you're able to make sure that you can loot every single person. But maybe doing them at night will give you better protection from other players, and it might allow you to do it a little bit more peacefully. Honestly, it might just be your own personal preference here. Now, there are more benefits to finding these treasure maps than just the money involved. You actually get a lot of experience points to go along with it here, which is great news. So you'll actually see one of the treasure maps I find. It's my 5th one already, and I think I was only like rank 15, which was quite cool. So by doing that, I earned a trophy. You earn experience points every time you open up a treasure chest. So it's a great way in which you can level up too. Now, again, a good strategy for this is to just pretty much hang out really close to an area where you know a gang hideout is going to be, and then just hit start, go to online, hit join free roam, and hit where you last left off. And what this is going to do is going to take you through a short loading sequence, and it'll load you into a brand new lobby right where you left off. And many times what this will allow you to do is spawn next to a fresh gang hideout, and you'll be able to repeat the process over and over and over again. So even if you clear out an entire gang hideout, you do all the objectives, and you don't find a treasure map, yes, it's a little bit disappointing, but just know that you can spawn into a new session, and there's a good chance at that next one, it's going to be there. And at a minimum, you cleared out everything. You probably got some good loot, some experience, some ammo, and you've probably helped yourself with a couple of other challenges as well. Like a lot of the ones with the weapons, sharpshooter, all that stuff. Clearing out 25 members at a time makes for a real easy way to get some of these awards. But anyways, that right there is all the info I've got for you guys in this video today. That right there is how to get a near unlimited amount of treasure maps in Red Dead Online. It's a little bit easier than you think, and I hope this is something Rockstar doesn't nerf or take away anytime soon, because they are pretty difficult to get ranking up. But these gang hideouts are an incredibly easy way to get these treasure maps in a much more efficient fashion. Now, also, according to the Newswire, apparently ambushes will net you the same thing. Although I think these ambushes are random, like you'll come across them if you're riding your horse on a road, whereas these gang attacks, or these gang hideouts I should say, seem to have fixed spawn locations, so they're much easier to predict where the treasure maps could actually be. But like I said, that's all the info I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know if you have had success hunting these gang hideouts for treasure hunts and treasure maps in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.